Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Broadband Committee meeting for July 25th, 2025. All public meetings are live streamed and recorded. Any written or verbal information provided may be included in the public documents as per the Freedom of Information Privacy Act. All right, I will call the Broadband Committee meeting to order at 9:01. We have an agenda before us. Looking for a motion to adopt the agenda. Councillor Cermak. All those in favor? And that motion's carried. Moving on to the minutes of the last broadband meeting on May 2nd, 2025. Any errors or omissions? If not, looking for a motion to adopt those minutes. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Lougheed. All those in favor? And that motion's carried as well. Now moving on to corporate services in regards to the Broadband Committee update. Looking forward to this. Go ahead, Mr. McDonald.
Good morning, Chair and committee members. It's been a busy summer, to say the least. Lots on the go. So we'll just go through this. This is just our normal introduction, and we'll go to the next page. I don't have the little clicker, so I'll ask Jenna to do that for me. I appreciate it. So engineering and permitting is included in design. I don't know if anybody knows that, but we'll just put that out there. So UBF 1723 and 3250, which is Farrier and Nordegg, I'll try to translate as I go through here. Civil and cable design is issued for 100% construction for both areas. So we do it in parcels, in small parcels. So each section is done. We've obviously started construction in Nordegg and almost finished construction in Misty Valley. I always want to call it Misty Mountain for some reason, but anyways. And in 7119, our areas 1 to 12 are issued for construction and cabling's 90% complete. UBF 7122, which is the Wetaskiwin one, is past 90% design, so it's ready for construction also, or very close. I just have to sign some documents, which I haven't had time to do.
Question. We're going to take questions as we go, if that's okay. Or do you want to just run through it and then go?
Well, yeah, okay. I don't care. Whatever makes you guys happy.
Okay. No, it's Councillor Bello.
Thank you, Reeve. Sorry, so just to clarify, you're saying that the engineering and the permitting is 90% complete in Misty Valley? Or the construction?
Oh, no, the construction. Oh, I'll get to the construction slide, which is the next one.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry, just
yeah,
you had mentioned construction.
I jumped a little ahead on myself.
No worries. So
because it's the morning.
Engineering and permitting is 100% complete for Nordegg.
Yeah.
And they've started well, you'll get to construction.
Yeah.
90% complete. For
you'll actually perfect timing for the next slide. It's like you read my mind. Or read the agenda. Anyways, construction is in progress, obviously. So we did do a deviation for the rodeo grounds to get them up and running for the chuck wagon races before August. The county's since installed and lit the fiber there. It's sitting waiting for, and we've passed it over to the town to proceed with their installation that they still have to do, or they could be done already. I haven't had a chance to reach out to Gord there again. It went very smooth. It took a little bit extra time with all the permitting because it was a big deviation from where we landed our equipment to moving it there. But the company that's doing it, Roll, was fantastic to deal with, and Alberta Transportation also, and we'll get to that later. And the county staff were fantastic. They, everybody just, exceeded what was expected. That's for sure. So that was where we started. UBF 3250, which is the Farrier area. Well, it's sort of we've subzoned it up, so it's split 50-50. We started in Misty Valley. We've installed all the pedestals, cabinets, and the fiber splicing is actually started yesterday. So they're blowing in the fiber and splicing it. So that area is going very well. We had a couple hiccups, a little bit of rock here and there, as no surprise. But actually it went fairly well through there. And again, the Nordegg outer and Nordegg central areas are under work right now. And it's a little bit limited. Actually, Roll took a little bit of time off because the water, they were starting to do a little bit too much damage. So they've just backed off a little bit for the ground conditions, and they're switching their some of their techniques to plowing in certain areas instead of trying to just dig or something. So there's a little bit of technique change there. It's not a big deal. There's no change order created by that. It's actually cheaper for us to do. So the civil construction as of Monday was 1.5 kilometers that they've done in that area, which is fairly substantial. They're in the north side a little bit and the south side, so they're trying to split their power. They're trying to get that area done fairly quickly. What else? Next page. So here's the RFP updates. I know that was a bit of a topic. RFP updates, we have BB09. We named them our RFPs logically in a number so that we can monitor them. Especially when we report to ISED, we have to show them our RFPs. We show them everything, and then we take it to legal, and we take it to insurance companies too, because they have, for liability for the county. So all those processes go out before we do a RFP. So the fiber to the home cabling installation for 7119, which is the Caroline area, and the Wetaskiwin and the Leduc areas are out. We should have, we're doing our bidder selection today, actually this afternoon. So we'll be picking it. So it should actually be out before July 1st. Hopefully I can, if everything copacetic, it should be before August 1st, sorry. Whenever. Anyway, so it should be out soon, hopefully Monday or at latest Tuesday. Really good amount of companies applied and very good quality RFPs. The other one is BB08, which is the fiber, our drop program. And what we did was we posted it on the 4th of June and we closed it on the 16th of June. So we wanted to give people ample time. And it closed on the 7th. We ended up with 7 quality proposals received. Really good response, I think. Really well written. So that's under evaluation. We did add an addendum, was issued on the 16th. We tried to issue it a little quicker, but we still have to send any addendum to legal, and we have to send any addendum to insurance too, to make sure we're covered. So that was just in regarding soliciting customers for sign up, and it changed the scope. And I think it's really a benefit to us and the contractors. One, it gives the contractors a little more hands-on control of the whole situation when they go on somebody's property. They don't have to phone somebody else to, or rely on some guy to do them. So, and honestly, it gains them a little revenue as a contractor, and it will reduce staff time for doing that, or me having to hire people to try and do that. And I think it's more of a fair and equitable way to do that, and it should reduce truck rolls too. So instead of having a person out there, sign the paper and then come back, and then it's done in one and done sort of thing.
Okay, question.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's a good question from Councillor Mello.
Thank you, Reeve. I'm actually surprised about the timeline for the drops, because with the drops happening, there's a lot of feedback. Sorry. When you were explaining how this was all gonna work, the drops were gonna work at the same time,
Yep.
if not ahead of time,
Yeah.
as the construction's happening.
Yeah.
Well, if construction is 90% complete in Misty Valley,
Yeah.
then the drops aren't happening at the same time at all, because they're gonna be done before these guys get started. Theoretically, the drops should have been issued, or at least the RFP out, way earlier, so that they could be working the way that you had explained it before, as they'd be working
Yeah, and
together.
absolutely. And I didn't say they were working together. I'd say they were working in
Like
stages.
on top of each other or
In
whatever.
stages. Also, the thing is about the drop program, it's gonna go considerably faster than construction. because there's just, you're talking to a person, you gotta get locates, and it's done. So what happens is, when the drop program starts, there'll be, the vision for you guys would be that they're not starting on time. But they'll actually be jumping ahead of people quite fast as we sign up people. So we can send people out. So what we want is the drop program not to be scattered, or how do I explain this? So the drop program, you go out, and we only have, say, down in Misty Valley, only 5 people signed up. Then we send a whole crew out, we mobilize them, and they only do 10 people. This way, as we grow and we get more people, as we'll see, signed up, we can send them to different areas to work. So they will be jumping ahead and in behind in some spots. So it's more of a sequential way of doing things.
Okay, so the drop isn't construction, because you said that,
Drop is
yeah,
construction,
they're
but
building
it's
them from the house to the,
to the
and then they have to do
driveway.
splicing. So if they're gonna be out in Misty Valley doing splicing,
Yeah, but
don't
it's
they
a
have to
different
do that
company
while they're
it's a different
building
company
it?
doing splicing. So there's three different constructions. There's construction civil, which is the big bulk and the permitting. The second one that we put out, which is BB09 and BB10, and another one that we've already awarded, those are for fiber splicing for the major arteries, if you want to call
okay,
it.
so they're not doing the drop splicing.
They're not doing the drop splicing. The company that's doing the drops
Is that,
is doing, the drop program is doing the splicing.
okay, so the drop people will do their own splicing.
You got it.
Okay, so the only issue then that I've been seeing with the phone calls that I'm getting is that because we're out doing construction,
Yeah,
and people are out there and they're excited and they wanna do it,
Yeah.
but they have nobody to actually hook them up. Cause we don't have a drop person awarded, so like whoever's
we'll
in the
get-
ditches is doing all this work.
Yeah.
But then the homeowner's like, great, I wanna sign up, like they're super excited about it, especially with
Well,
Starlink globally being down yesterday. I
well,
got
again,
multiple phone calls about it.
Again, you gotta build the road before you build the driveways. And this takes time, we've got 2 years to build it. We have time to do things properly, and I don't wanna put in and sacrifice, the cost of repositioning our drop programs, guys. Hey, you've only got 5 people installed this week. Bye, see you in 2 weeks when we've got 15 people. This way they can come out, do it in bulk. It saves them considerable amount of money, us considerable amount of money and time. And then you just do section by section by section. We will be jumping ahead. It'll go faster than you think.
Well, and because you added the June 16th addendum, say they go to Misty Valley and they've only got, you've said 5.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Because they're,
what it
I
is.
know, like just using your example, because they're doing the addendum on there, they can go then around and collect.
They can
the
use the
rest,
whole.
if they all wanna do it,
And
if
part
everybody
of
wants to.
that part of that whole RFP was, we broke it down into the 5 grant areas. So each contractor could bid on just one area. If they just wanted Nordegg
Yeah.
or that area, they could just bid on that. They don't have to bid on the rest. So the smaller guys could bid, afford to bid, or they partnered with bigger guys too. And I saw a lot of the partnerships and stuff like that. But they can win it all if they come in with the right price. It's the whole reason you put an RFP out. So I think those are the good things that come out of that, and it gives any company that's read it properly and understood it, it's easier. And the reason we put the addendum out is we started looking at different ways of doing this, and we talked to a couple companies, and believe it or not, in Sweden, and that's the way they were doing it. So it's just learning as you go with some techniques that they did for 20 years and we've only done for 0 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I have one more on this.
Yes, go ahead.
Mine, thanks, Reeve. And so with the drop program, are we giving them all of the materials then? Because if they're doing
Yes.
door-to-door work so that it's all consistent?
If we own everything to the gray box, and then inside with the ONU, remember when I described the ONU router for.
For sure. No, I meant like the communications materials. Sorry, so that
Oh,
if there's
where
5
we're-
different drop
we-
contractors, they all get the same.
We will, yes,
Yeah.
we're focusing that with Arcadis, is helping us do that, and they will help us too, because again, these people have done this before, they're bringing experience. They'll say, hey, we only need 1 sign-up page, or hey, we got we understand that maybe we need 2 sign-up pages because, for legal reasons. Or we already have that designed, but they may come with their experience. You know, some of these companies have been doing this for 20 years. They may go, you know, we've done this 1,000 times, this is way easier. And so we want to work together with them. That's with all of them, like with our contractors, we want to work together because one, if you have a good relationship, they actually help you save money in the long run. That's the whole point of it, save money and time. So I see this going forward very well. We had 7 fantastic proposals, like actually some of the best ones that were written out of all the proposals. I think because what's been happening is we've done our RFPs, and then with us in Arcadis, we'll review the guys that didn't get the jobs and they say, well, what can we do to improve? And those have been, so we've seen a huge change in the quality of the RFPs and the understanding of it. So it's a learning lesson for all of us, but away it goes that way.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a presentation. Sorry.
That's okay. Take a breath.
We're the ones that are allowed to be fried, not you.
True. Well, so speaking of which, anyways, the Engage series that we did, we'll be getting a more wholesome, fulsome report for the next broadband committee. I'm actually got it this morning to read, and I didn't figure it would. It's in draft form, but I'll be reading that. And it'll break it down a lot more seriously, and there's comments and stuff that we can address in there. But the attendance in Nordegg was 12, Rocky, well, you guys can all read. There was about 80 total, and so far we've had about 188 surveys pulled out or filled out, and 12 people, they phoned up and they needed some help signing up, so I signed them up, or Tim did, or somebody else. We just try to be helpful. I probably answer now 15 to 20 phone calls a week talking to people, which is dramatically more than I'm used to. So I'm trying to keep up with it, but I don't know if it's my ability to do that, but I'm getting there. Next page is project cooperation with Alberta Transportation and the Government of Alberta. Typically, we wouldn't put a slide like this in here, but hats off to Alberta Transportation and Government of Alberta. They have been fantastic. They have gone out of their way to help us. They've changed some of the way they do things, and they've been giving us templates to fill out for like road crossings, and so and then we pass them on to the contractors, and it makes the whole process of applying for a permit so much smoother. We get permits done now, they put them in and they're done in a day, which is, I can't speak highly enough of how this is happening. So they came on site too, Alberta Transportation. They looked at our CO and we sort of showed them what was going on. So the outcome of the meeting was transport and economic permitting guidelines, so they've made it a package for us to hand out to all of our broadband contractors so that they know the rules to follow, and which is a little learning curve for some of these guys because they've never really had the rules so much in front of them, and it's been super helpful. So we did design and build contractors working on UBF projects, so the guidelines which we shared. Helps with timely permit submissions, like holy moly. Alberta Transportation has been extremely helpful with this project. AT is actually sending out staff to have hands-on experience and training to watch the drilling and watch what's going on their roads. And they actually had one of the assistants came out, I think Wednesday, and went up to Nordegg and went up to Rocky East corridor. So I can't say, and this also supports our positive relationship with ISED, because these people, Government of Alberta, has been, speaks in our meetings, our monthly meeting and our weekly meetings about these kind of relationships, and ISET has been so, I can't believe how good it's turned out to be. Just knock on wood, it's positive, so we'll keep it going that way. Yeah, like we had the province's utility lead out, like the main guy, I don't want to say his name, obviously, because, and stuff. So, yeah, we're pretty proud of that, actually, that we got good treatment. I guess that's what I'm trying to go with. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Melhoff?
Thank you, Reeve. Perhaps we need to send out a letter from the Reeve thanking Alberta Transportation for their continued work and support. Oftentimes we send letters saying, you need to do this, or we need help with this, and sometimes they don't get the kudos side of it. So maybe that's something we need to do. And is there anything we can learn from the ease that we've had with Alberta Transportation and their changes to make sure that our permitting and anything like that, I know that that's not necessarily your department, it's Public Works, but maybe
I share with them all that information. There's two-way street. A lot of the times, even in our IFC reviews, our design reviews, I invite our Public Works people, infrastructure, to come and view it and see if there's any red flags that they see. So they're very active with us. Ag is very active with us that way too. So absolutely we share as much as we can. We basically created a SharePoint, and I throw all my documents and everything, and they all have full access to it. So I don't want to, it's as transparent as we can literally make it for interdepartmental sharing, I guess is what we call.
well, then hopefully those teams can find some efficiencies in handing out our own permits. If it's been so good for us to get the ease of permitting from the province, maybe we can make sure that we're
Our guys
implementing
have
some of
been
that.
fantastic too.
Excellent.
Really, really good. Like another, just if we write a letter, we should write a letter to them too. So, and I appreciate it because it makes it so much easier to go through all these kind of hoops. And you can, what's nice is you can predict the construction, because
Right.
sometimes if you deal with a crossing agreement or a permit that you can't sort of push through, it can hold up for weeks, months, years in some cases, which we well know.
Yeah.
So it's been fantastic, and I agree 100% with that.
Do you need a motion to have that be achieved? Because I can make that motion.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, well, I will make that motion then, that we write a letter to Alberta Transportation thanking them for their continued support and ease of operational efficiency.
Okay, thank you for the motion. Any comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's carried. Okay,
Oh, sorry.
okay, did you, on that particular motion?
No, I was just gonna ask, do you want us to make sure that ISED's copied with that letter?
Please,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever you need to. Counselor Gibson?
Could you go back to the map, because I don't understand what all the numbers are for?
Oh, sorry. Okay. So it's a double sort of map, because I didn't have much time to present this. But the 12 is how many participants were at those engaged meetings. And then if you look at the map, those are the areas where people have signed up. And I know it's a little small, so I probably should print a better one. But so like you'll see around Crimson Lake, for example, there's 30 people that have signed up. And then you'll see in, boy, it's too small for me too. And then in Nordegg, there's about 16 people. So if that helps. Okay.
So question for you now is, yes, construction's in high time. Through my learned experience yesterday, part of what I hear is people maybe like some more information in a louder way.
Okay.
So is there an opportunity for us to maybe blast this to say signups, please, fill out the survey, and even if it says you're not in the funded area, continue to fill out the survey because it's based on what you're doing, just to give a little bit of a clearer understanding to say, even though we're going by, this is showing your intent now, not necessarily when it
Absolutely. We can do more of that now that, again, communications has got some people
Ex-
back.
100%, yes.
I really felt that, like, I didn't want to push them, because, they were pushed to the limit already, and then, so, maybe to the point is that we talk to, our engineering firms and see if they can help us with a little more push, and I totally agree with that, statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Cermak?
So to get signed up, you have to do the survey, and they find the survey where?
Oh, on the website, so it's market.
Okay.
.cwcbb.ca, and they can go in and you just put your blue sign address in, and it'll tell you. We update all the time, so sometimes when somebody, say I type my name in and it's not serviced, but through negotiations with ISED, or we're moving this here, or sometimes we go down a different road because of rock or something like that, you may get an email saying that you're now available, or go in and just check it again. So it's a living, breathing sort of animal on that, because I keep trying to get more out of ISED, which seems to work some days. So, yeah, that's sort of the way. So it's market.cwcbb.ca, and we have pamphlets or cards out front of the office,
You need to
and
pack a
business
bunch of
cards too.
Yep.
And if people need a little help signing up, because a few people have signed up, they can phone us and we'll walk you through. We can even sign you up and all that kind of stuff. I've done it for about 8 people, and I think some other people that work with me have done it for the other 4, so.
So they just phone the county number and.
Yeah, and then they
can get it
usually
done.
just get through reception, and reception knows whether I'm in a meeting or whatever, and they'll phone me or Tim or Darcy or whoever.
And these 80 people that you've already got signed up and stuff, when are they gonna be lit and ready to go?
Within the next 2 years.
Within when?
Within the next 2 years.
Within the next 2 years.
Yes, because these are huge programs that go through 25 and 26 to do. So I can't tell you that Joe that phoned up far north is gonna get serviced until 2026. Or maybe, but in September or October, everybody in Norday could be serviced. So to say that it's just, I'm gonna sign up tomorrow, it's not accurate. It's within the next 2 years.
Okay.
Director
And when
Hagan?
they sign up, they pay their $399 at that time, or do
Yeah,
they pay
no,
when they get hooked up?
Actually, when they get hooked up, the idea is when they get hooked up, it's done and dusted and sign off, they have their internet, then we basically, lack of better words, send them the bill. It's $399. It's $399 for the first 100 meters.
Yep.
And after that, it's $14 per meter, which is our cost to put it in. So
Director Hagan?
that helps.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, committee members. Maybe just for further clarification, when we say that we encourage people to go onto the website and sign up, that is really their expression of interest in telling us that they are interested in becoming serviced through our network. Where they actually get the installation, that's a contract. So there's the initial sign up is an expression of interest. And then further to that, if we're able to provide service to that home, then they sign a contract for service and for installation, and that's when they pay their installation fee at that time. So there's 2 separate but related processes here.
And then after they pay their $399, then they're lit and ready to go.
Yep, and they
Perfect.
choose an internet service provider.
Yep. Okay.
Councillor Mello?
Excellent, thank you for the clarification, because I was gonna, I think this is surveys filled out, not necessarily contract signed. So, thank you for clarifying. Are we on track for the grants? And what happens if we don't hit our timelines?
What everybody else is probably already doing. We don't want to be the first ones to ask for an extension ever, but people are already asking for extensions. I just through the grapevine, even from ISED's mouth, people have been asking for extensions. I would rather not do that. I think we're fine right now. So, and if we do need to, typically what happens is you ask for an extension, it goes to their boss, whoever their
Yeah.
boss is, and they either grant it or don't. I've never, any extensions we've ever asked for have never been denied.
So theoretically, we should have this all built out by the end of 2027.
Yeah,
Okay?
Director Hagan?
2020, well, March 31st, 2027, ideally it should all be done and dusted.
Director Hagan?
Thank you. And on that, our target is the end of 2026 to give a, yeah.
We want to buffer that 4 month, it's winter anyways, so it's, so, and we're gonna probably, honestly, you'll need that buffer, stuff happens, you know. Rocks show up.
Director Hagan?
If I can add that the team's done an exemplary job of getting these RFPs out, reviewed. It's a very involved process, and due diligence can't take a backseat. But that's getting done, and the fact that they've got the materials secured and available, we're ready. And I think barring weather conditions, I think this construction season, we're gonna know very well by the fall exactly where we're sitting and be able to come back and inform this committee as to our comfort level completing in 2026. So I think this is gonna be a telltale how much we're able to achieve this year.
Councillor Lloyd?
Thank you, and we were briefly discussing some of those extension fees, the per meter cost. I have one example that was brought forward to me of a farmyard that had 3 homes within that farmyard. The first home is well within that 100 meters. There's another home just basically 20 meters away from that home. And then there's another home about 150 meters away from that. So if there were 3 separate services, would there be opportunity to build upon one and try to find, you know, the overall thing, there's not 300 meters of cable going in?
Yeah, technically there's a way, there's different ways to sort of float that boat. Personally, there's, I would build it to the more shortest route, which is the 100 meters. And then the customer can either put in their own, not necessarily fiber, they could use another technology, Cat6, wireless point-to-point, for those other houses, considerably cheaper, and you pay the $3.99 once.
Okay.
If you want to do extensions to each house, then we would just, it'd be almost a custom conversation to have,
and that-
because
But there's
really,
a willingness to kind of look at
oh,
each thing as a
absolutely, and I
case-to-case
think a
basis.
lot of, you know, expertise comes in hand with, you know, my background in networking and stuff like that, we could give them sort of not hints, but tips that they could use to, you know, one, save money. We're not out here, like, I could run 3 runs, and then the first house is $3.99, the second house would be $3.99 or whatever plus the 50, and then the third house would be $3.99 plus there. It's not economical for people, even if they have, you know, huge farm or whatever. So ideally, we would want to look at it through the lens of how to set up a proper network.
Okay.
And even if you have some people, just a little tangent, is they'll have their farm, but they'll have a shop where they actually, you know, their farmhouse wants to be served, but the shop also wants to be served because, you know, they got to upgrade their tractors and all those kind of things. Those are conversations where even local computer places, stores and stuff, they can help the people out too. So there's a little bit of revenue for local guys that run computer shops and stuff like that to do those small little things to help the farmers too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there any other, oh, go ahead, Director Hagan.
Thank you, and just as a personal example, I don't have fiber at my property yet. When it comes, my intention would be pay for installation, get the fiber to run to my home, and then I would likely use some network cable, the Cat6 cable Mr. McDonald referred to, run that down to my shop. So I've got a hardwired connection down there, but I wouldn't anticipate incurring the extra cost of getting 2 fiber drops put in there. So there are other ways to do it. And
No,
we're open to work.
I was just trying to see if there was the opportunity on a case-to-case basis to match the circumstances with what would be most economical and.
Absolutely, I think that's the one key where we are, as a county and having an open access network where we can do that. If you deal with the bigger telecoms, they don't move. They'll just run 3 runs in there and say, this is your cost, goodbye. So those are the kind of things that, we're flexible with, at least. You know, from my perception, I think we're a little more flexible that way. Right or wrong, I don't know. We'll see.
Counselor Cermak.
Yeah, just a little bit of clarification. We have a line run out to Nordig already, and we have picked up all the different areas or the different communities on the way out there.
Yes.
Like Horberg and the old,
Misty,
the old number 11 highway along that route. Is it included in that? Like past Ferrier, the old?
we've got fiber out to Ferrier.
Yeah.
Already.
And then there's a whole bunch of people on that old highway that goes out to
Yeah,
Horberg.
and we're doing those people.
Okay.
And then in that area too, there's another company that, or another group that got awarded certain amounts of inside Ferrier, through ISED. So they'll be doing those sections. And we'll be doing the houses we're allowed to do, they'll be doing the houses they do. So that whole area will get serviced.
So we do a drop at every house even if they don't sign up?
Yes, we will. Anything that we go by and that,
That is
whether it's
classed as
serviced or not,
is not being serviced?
Yeah,
We can service.
we can we can offer their service. But if it's in an area that, the other company got, we won't put drops there. We'll just avoid those, cause I don't wanna step on somebody's toes, right?
Okay.
So, you know, that's their job. We'll do our jobs. But if we're going by a house and it's serviced by their UBF grant, we won't service it, cause the expectations is that company will, you know, they got the money to service them. But if we go by a place that's not serviced by us or them, we're still gonna put a drop there because we want people to sign up. It's silly not to, especially when you're going by.
So in Clearwater County, is there other UBF grants
sir.
given out in this area that we didn't receive or didn't have anything to do with?
You got it. Yep. And they're small, they're very, very small and scattered. It's sort of a weird system, but
So do they tie into our network or do they
that's,
have their own?
Yes, eventually, but it's sort of something that's happening in background, contracts and NDAs and stuff, so.
Okay.
Yes, we will work with them. I guess
Okay.
that's my best answer.
Well,
The
I find
intention
that
is-
Clearwater County has always been open to work with everybody and try to get the best deal for our people that live in our county.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
hope that continues because that's what we're here for, is to look after our taxpayers.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
we need you to work for the best of our people in our county, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Are there any other questions for Mr. McDonald this morning on this update? No, it's great. I appreciate the fact that I see the construction happening. I see what's marked, so it's exciting.
Yeah.
So, see this done. Cool. So if there's no other questions, just take a motion to accept the update for information.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Lougheed. All those in favor? Great. And then we have one other item, and that is to adjourn. Okay, you will. Councillor Gibson will make that motion to adjourn. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you.